Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today for our live video. My name is Gabby, joined here today with Matt Priest, who is the Director of Foster Family Services here at Boys Town. May is National Foster Care Month, so for that reason, we're going to go through back and forth on some discussion questions about what it's like to become a foster parent. So if you've ever wondered about fostering, maybe feel a little pull to become a foster parent, or maybe you just want to learn more about it, this live is for you. So, as Matt and I go back and forth on our discussion questions, if you have any questions for Matt, you can go ahead and leave them in the comment section of this video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. And additionally, I do have the link above this video that goes to boystown.org so you can learn more about foster family services and get in touch with them there. Matt, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. Great to have you on. Thank you for joining us.
You bet. Thank you.
Go back and forth here on these discussion questions. The first one is, Matt, if you want to expand on my introduction, tell us more about yourself and your role with Boys Town, that'd be great.
Absolutely, yeah. And thank you again for the opportunity, and thank you everybody for viewing. So I'm, as Gabby said, Matt Priest, Director of Boys Town Foster Family Services. I've been with Boys Town for about 15 years and worked in the foster care and adoption industry for about 25 years.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And Matt, I have to put you on the spot and give you a little bit of a shout out here. So Matt was recently awarded a very distinct award. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I recently was nominated for the Advocate of the Year and was fortunate to have received that. So yeah, definitely a very humbling experience. So I'm flying to DC next week and I'll accept the National Advocate of 2023 award.
Awesome. Well, congratulations in advance. We'll make sure to share some photos of his trip to DC because I know people will want to see that. So wanted to mention that as well. Okay, so tell us more, Matt, about Foster Family Services. What is the program? What are its parts? And how does it help Boys Town youth and families?
Absolutely. So Foster Family Services is part of that Boys Town continuum. So we do a lot of wonderful things at Boys Town. What foster care is all about is helping children and families in their home community. So our Foster Family Services program started around 1988. And we found it's just a really good way to, again, impact children in their home community, allow them to maintain their home schools, and allow foster parents to continue to parent their own children and have jobs and careers and all that good stuff, while also making a difference for children in their home community, in their own home.
Yes. And where is our Foster Family Services? I know we have it in Nebraska on our home campus. And what are the two other sites too?
Yep. So again, in Nebraska, I am in Omaha, so the eastern kind of side of Nebraska, the metro area. We also have our Central Nebraska Foster Family Services program, which covers 8 or 9 counties in Central Nebraska, kind of Grand Island, Kearney area. And then we also have our North Florida site, which is headquartered out of Tallahassee, Florida. And then finally, the New England area, both Rhode Island and Massachusetts have foster care programs out there. So between all those 4 different sites that provide foster family services for Boys Town.
Wonderful. Okay, so the next question is, for people watching, and, I know you work really closely with all of our families in foster family services. What is the inspiration for a lot of them to become a foster parent? Why do they feel that pull to do so?
Yeah, I think it's what we've seen is there's definitely it takes some time. A lot of families think about it. They pray on it. They talk to family members or friends or neighbors, somebody that's maybe fostered before. Sometimes they're individuals who grew up in foster care, or maybe their parents were foster parents. And so I think the first 3 to 4 years on average is typically that kind of gathering information, kind of making sure that it's the right fit for you, seeing how it's going to fit into your own life, and again, your jobs and your biological children, if you have any, kind of all those pieces. And then certainly contacting Boys Town, we kind of walk families through the process of what to expect, what some of those requirements are, the training aspect, the licensing aspect. And then at that point, I think families realize that it's not as overwhelming as maybe what they thought it would be. It's a way to, again, continue to live the life that you have, and while also impacting children in your home. So what we say is, if you're parenting children, what's one more or what's two more, kind of incorporating them into your lifestyle. So that's typically what we see. There are families that have a passion to help kids. They want to make a difference in their community. They read the stories and they watch the news about kids that need care. And I think they assess that and talk that over with their support systems and their family, and they give us a call. And then what's nice from there is we're with you every step of the way. So I'm a dad. I have two children of my own, and I always say that I would love to have somebody that was kind of step in step with me along the way to kind of guide me through behavioral challenges or give me the training to be a great dad. I mean, all those things that I didn't have as a father, those are things that we do for foster parents. So they're definitely not alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great to know. So, when people make the step and they think, okay, I think I'm finally ready to learn more about becoming a foster parent, what does that process look like? And what are those first initial steps?
Yep. So first step is definitely reaching out. We give you information, typically an information packet that'll give a breakdown, kind of what to expect, types of kids that we see, average ages of kids, kind of all those pieces. Once we kind of had that dialogue and we both agree that we want to kind of consider that next step, then it's training. So our training is typically about 30 hours in the evenings, blended of both online as well as kind of in person. And so that's about a month long in several evenings throughout the week. And so once we get those training aspects done, then you kind of move into the licensing phase, which is a series of paperwork and processes that we walk you through. Once we do those things, then you're issued a license. So foster parents in the state of Nebraska are licensed foster parents, and we assist with all that. There's no fees for any of that or nothing other than a lot of paperwork to fill out that we help you with. Once that's done, then it's just all about the match. So for some families, it may be one of the first children that we call you on. You might feel called to serve. You might feel like they're a really good fit in your home. Or you might need to wait and find a child that you feel like is a little bit closer fit to what you're looking to do. So we just work with you hand in hand until we find that right match, and then kind of go from there. And again, when the child's in your home, then our staff are phone call, a text away 24/7. So you're never alone. We're with you. We visit your home, throughout the month. We go to court to get updates on the case, and just continue to support you to work towards getting any child in a foster home back home. That's the ultimate goal, is the reunification piece, supporting the relationship with mom, dad, aunt, uncle, whoever it may be, in order to allow that family to heal and get that child back home. That's the ultimate goal.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's a great goal. So a lot of the time we get the question of what kind of kids are coming through the foster care program. Are we getting more teenagers that are in need? Are they younger? Is it kind of a mix?
Yeah, so in the state of Nebraska, children age out of the system at 19 years of age. So that means we would really see anybody from 0 to 19 that needs foster care placement within our programs. That being said, definitely the average age is 13 plus. So we're seeing the majority of referrals for children needing foster care placement are over that 13 years old threshold, 13 to 15, 13 to 16, kind of right in there. Which we see a lot of families that really are looking to work with younger children and have that desire. Totally understand that. Our teens are amazing. I mean, they are kids they're just kids. They are, we're working to get them part-time jobs, and they're in school activities, and they're having visits with family members, and they're really amazing kids, and they just often need the stability and structure to what a foster home can provide to them. So.
Mm-hmm. So what, in your opinion, what do you think are some of the benefits of becoming a foster parent, and how is it so life-changing for the foster parent themselves?
Yeah, I think it's just it's impacting lives. And it's forever. So we tell our foster parents that even when kids go back home, we have foster parents that tell me they get Mother's Day cards in the mail years later from a child that they worked with, that maybe they didn't feel like they had a great connection, but then they get a Mother's Day card 5 years from now. So definitely making an impact with kids and families, allowing families to heal so that they can go back home and continue to operate as a structured, stable home environment. For us to do this now, it really impacts kind of our communities long term. So the more we can work with children and families, it allows them to be successful adults, contributing members of society. So it's important to work with kids now so that we're not working with adults later necessarily. So, but great stories. I mean, we hear them daily about kids that are doing amazing, or just really neat pictures of kids at their first baseball game or their first soccer practice or their first band performance or whatever it might be. In fact, I just got an invite. We had a child in our program that was adopted at 8 years old. I just got an invitation for his high school graduation. So it was 10 years ago. So to see this little guy who was held in the courtroom by the family at 8, and now 10 years later, he's walking across the stage, graduating high school. I mean, that's really what it's all about.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you just kind of answered maybe one of my next questions, but what is your favorite part about working with foster families?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's seeing kids get back home and again heal that relationship with their family and celebrating that reunification. May is Foster Care Awareness Month, which we talk about, so it's a really good month to let people know what foster care is all about and spread the awareness on the need for foster parents. There's a huge shortage nationally for foster parents. June is an interesting month because June is National Reunification Month. So we have back to back celebrate not only the need for foster care in May, but we celebrate in June those opportunities that children have to go back home with moms and dads and live a healthy, stable life. So I think those are the best stories, is kids getting back home, seeing moms and dads celebrating that reunification piece. And also kids being kids. I think that's the best celebration. Again, my kids play soccer and are in school and all those things. And that's all I want for all the children in our foster care program, is the same opportunities to just be a kid, do all the things that we all did as children. So that's worth celebrating, I think.
I agree. We throw the phrase around "be the one" a lot when we're talking about foster care, and that can apply to so many different aspects, kind of like what Matt mentioned. So, being the one to teach him how to drive a car or teach her how to ride a bike and do these things that, as we're growing up, we think are, oh yeah, of course I would learn how to do that. But for a lot of these foster care kids, they had never been on a sports team or really had anyone like that. So definitely satisfying to hear stories like that.
Yep.
So the next question here, we've got a couple more. So if you're watching live and you have a question for Matt, go ahead and leave it in the comments now. So what are some of the challenges that come along with being a foster parent, and how does Boys Town support them through that?
Yeah, so I think you kind of open your life. You're kind of in a fishbowl a little bit there. So you have the licensing process where we go out and we ask you a lot of questions about who you are and what you do for a living and all those things. Things that I did not do when I became a dad. So I think there is that aspect of things. But again, it's kind of countered with knowing that you got an agency right there that's been around for over 100 years that supports you through that process. So I think that can be, a lot of work on that front end. I think the, loving children unconditionally and then letting go, I think is not for everybody. We tell you to treat our children like your own children, and, take them out to eat and support those relationships and go to the park and do all those fun things that we all do. But then the ultimate goal is to get them back home with mom and dad. And so I think that can be really difficult for people to let go. And then I think you also have, you have professionals involved, you have children's attorneys involved and the judges involved and the caseworkers. And so you've got a few parties involved in the case. So that's where Boys Town can step in and help navigate kind of all those people and make sure that foster parents really understand who does what roles are and all those things. So.
Definitely. Yeah, it's great having kind of an advocate too, to stand up for you and the child, and kind of having that moderator too, especially.
Yep, absolutely. Yep, you're not alone.
Okay, so my last question here, Matt, is kind of a big one. If you could tell our audience one thing about becoming a foster parent during Foster Care Awareness Month, what would you want people to know?
One thing, there's a few things, but I think one for sure is just you certainly don't need to be a perfect person or a perfect caregiver or a perfect parent to be a foster parent. We have a range of families that have a range of skill sets and backgrounds and careers and all sorts of things, from young to old to retired to working to having children of your own to not having children. And so we need all of those individuals because the children referred to our program are so unique in their own way. So we need a range of homes to serve a range of children. So I think that's the most important thing is, take that step, reach out, ask for information, because really it's baby steps along the way. We get you to a training class. We're not committing you to anything other than just giving you information to make that assessment. So while it can sound maybe scary, it really is just kind of baby steps along the way. Then we have families that start with respite or kind of short-term stays. So knowing that you're not diving into committing to everything, you're kind of just diving into that first step along the way. So that's the most important thing I would say, is to give us a call, give it a try. We'll give you information, spread the word. If you know anybody that's great in your own life, again, neighbors or someone at your church or a coworker or anybody, I think a healthy foster care system is really important for all of us. And so the more that you can spread the word to those around you in your network, those are individuals that we really need, because there is definitely a dire shortage of foster homes in our community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you can take the first step in even helping with that out by sharing this video. So whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, giving it a share and kind of spreading the word that way is a great, simple one-click thing you can do right now. Otherwise, we'd love for you to visit our website, boystown.org. I have it linked, and you can call Foster Family Services directly or fill out the form to get more information on becoming a foster parent. Well, thank you, Matt, so much for your time. We really appreciate you joining.
You bet. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, everybody. Reach out. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.